Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and this reading is for the general collective of the twin flame soul connections out there. It will not be for everyone watching, so if it resonates with you, please comment below, and if not, be sure to check my channel for other messages you need to hear. And remember, time, energy, and gender are fluid. Feel free to reverse roles however they apply to you, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future readings. So guys, thank you so much to all of my new and returning subscribers. I love you. Your energy, your stories, your comments, everything is amazing. And so please keep that energy going. For those of you who are new, please check the description box below. You can find my social media links, my websites, and all of my PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp information for booking readings. And so guys, quick announcement. If you are booking private readings, please be aware that I will be out of town from the 28th until the 8th of June. So if you book a reading between now and then, I will not be getting to those until I return from my vacation. So I will still be posting the intimate extended bonus readings and the twin flame intimate extended reading next week. So that will happen for you. But like I said, all of my info is in the description box below, as well as announcements, the hashtags of all the decks that I use in my readings, and so much more. So anyways, also there is a link to my new channel, Woo Works LLC, where I will be doing things like guided meditations coming this fall. So if that is something that interests you, please feel free to click over and subscribe and share with someone who enjoys the same things. So guys, guess what? It is already June. I cannot believe it. And I am releasing this video the day before Mercury retrograde. Yes, I am going on vacation as Mercury stations retrograde, so that should be interesting. Prayers are definitely welcome. So yeah, this is going to be your June 2021 twin flame forecast. So we will be looking into the energies of divine masculine and divine feminine, although we do know that it is just about energy, okay? It's not about gender or genitalia, as Eat, Pray, Love, my lovely friend Sal loves to say. It's not about genitalia. It's not about the meat suit, the flesh prison. It is about your soul, okay? Each and every one of us has divine masculine and feminine within us, and so it is very common for the roles to flippy-floppy. And so sometimes you might resonate with the divine masculine, and for the most part, I feel like most of my readers are divine feminine, but there are times where I myself resonate with the masculine end. So whatever role you're in right now, whatever the part of the journey you're in right now, just understand that these roles can reverse and energy is fluid, okay? So we're trying to pick up on the energy of what's going to be unfolding in the month of June, which, by the way, we are just coming down from the full blood moon, super flower, super moon, lunar eclipse, etc., full moon in Sagittarius, right? Lots of things going on. If you would like some more astrology talk and a 15-minute rant on life and things that I channeled for the messages of the eclipse, please feel free to check out the link at the end of this video where you can watch that one as well. If you already watched it, then you, I'm pretty sure, are aware of the rant, and you might hear some more of that here in this reading, but we'll try to keep it simple. So like I said, we're coming down off of this eclipse energy, and in general, like I said, Mercury retrograde is about to put us in a spot of reflection like no other, okay? So not only are we in eclipse season and, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Mercury retrograde, but we're also gearing up for another lunar eclipse in the new moon, okay, coming up in the middle of the month. So let's go ahead and see what's going on between the masculine and the feminine, and we will be digging in with the Moonology Oracle deck. So I've been kind of shuffling a little bit, but I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. And so the first row, as my twin flame forecast readings usually go, the first row will be all about the divine masculine and what they are currently thinking, or what their conscious awareness is, as well as their heart space, how they're viewing the divine feminine at this time, what their actions are going to be moving forward, their desired outcome, and an added bonus of what they would like you to know. So same thing goes for the second row. For the first row, I'll be using the Sun and Moon Tarot, and I'll be using the Witch's Tarot on the Divine Feminine end. But like I said, we're starting out with the Moonology Oracle, so let's find out what the general energy is of the Divine Masculine as we, move through the month of June. Beautiful energy. So like I said, we just experienced the full moon in Sagittarius, but this card is the new moon in Sagittarius. So like I said, we're gearing up for the new moon next, right? So as we come down from the full moon, it's time for us to focus on releasing and banishing as we move towards the next cycle, okay? So reflecting is a great thing for us to be doing during a time like this, but like I said, in the collective reading, there's going to be a lot of confusion and illusion surrounding this full moon energy, okay? So it's important that you are really focusing on your head over heart decisions and making sure that you're leading with your heart, right? We don't want to allow ourselves to get confused about the decisions that we've made, and allow ourselves to slip backwards, right? So we talked about the arrow of truth, shooting for your truth, and how your light is brighter than any obstacle that stands in your way. And the masculine is feeling that energy in the month of June, okay? Their general energy is luck is on your side. So for some of you, your divine masculines could have Sagittarius in prominent placements, or in general, just running with the wind and really catching the breeze on the energy of Sagittarius coming down from this full moon, okay? We talked about major awakenings and revelations happening, and really standing our ground and putting our foot down in our truth, right? And knowing that there may be people that try to stand in our way, or try to convince us that we're crazy, or that we're being unreasonable. But at the end of the day, perception is reality, right? And so if our perception is that someone is in our way, okay, however that might resonate for you, if someone's in your way, you know intuitively that it's time for you to either move them out of the way or turn around and move in another direction, right? So the masculine is about to chance their luck. I think they're about to actually move things forward and take action towards their destined path, okay? So the energy of Sagittarius at the back of the divine masculine as we move through June. And for the divine feminine, the energy is gaining momentum, okay? Waxing moon. So notice how this card popped up in reverse, okay? I kind of feel as if the feminine is at a place where she is feeling that energy building, knowing that things are ramping up intuitively. But with this card popping out in reverse, as we talk about with eclipse energy, a lot of people say it's not really a good time to do any sort of manifestation, or rituals or charging crystals or moon water or any of those things, right? And I'm sure a lot of you have heard that. Some people like to channel the chaotic energy of eclipses, and it can be used in very powerful rituals and things of that nature. However, for this specific journey of twin flames, sometimes it is important for us to take our foot off of the gas and allow ourselves to just let things flow, right? So with the energy gaining momentum, I think the feminine is starting to just kind of take her seat on the Empress's throne, if you know what I'm saying. It's time to sit back and allow ourselves to be comfortable in the environment that we've created for ourselves, and know that everything that is meant for us is on its way, okay? So intuitively, the feminine is feeling this energy building and knowing that the masculine is about to take action, okay? So very interesting. I love how we have the waxing energy as well, which again, full moons is the waning energy, the releasing. And so I think that right now the feminine, even though she feels this energy, I think she intuitively knows that now's not the time to push it, okay? So bottom of the deck, collectively, we've got believe in the impossible. And again, notice how that comes up in the reverse. We've got a blue moon. And recently, I've actually been very attracted to the color blue. I've got a lot of blue crystals and things out. I've been wearing a lot of blue. And actually, the last time I saw my own divine masculine, I'm pretty sure I caught him wearing blue as well. But with believe in the impossible popping up in the reverse, I feel like right now, everything is kind of in reverse, right? Mercury's in reverse cowgirl. So is Saturn, so is Pluto. We've got a lot of like upside down and mirrored type energy. And that's kind of how I feel like eclipses are. It's like the chance for us to like go into the mirror and see things from an angle that you can't see, but once in a lifetime type thing, right? And obviously we know eclipses don't just happen once in a lifetime, but it's that rare opportunity of a blood moon, okay, that allows you to take that glimpse into the quick shard or fragment of of a new reality where you have that powerful activation within you that allows you to actually do just that, right? Believing in something that you probably thought wasn't possible before. And I know a lot of divine feminines have been losing faith, losing hope. And for those of you who haven't seen, I did post something about this on my community tab the other day. And I've just in general been feeling the need to remind the divine feminine that it's time for us to hold space for the divine masculine. Okay, now's not the time for the negative Nancy attitude, okay? And trust me, that's not an attack on anyone. That's an attack on myself, okay? Because for those of you who keep up with my channel, dealing with, cutting out a karmic partner of 14 years and kind of bouncing back from that, in this energy, I have also myself second guessed and tried to like paint logic over all of the very clear signs that the universe has been sending me. It's easy to do that, right? It's so easy to say, well, you know what? I don't see it in the physical, so it must not be true. I don't really see this happening, so it must not be possible. Well, it's not going to be possible if you don't envision yourself doing it, experiencing it. And so, guys, also remember that union can show up in really unexpected ways, okay? And so for those of you who are starseeds, light workers, empaths, and who felt powerful activations with the Pleiades lineup last week, I can say firsthand that my gifts and my channelings have been way more on point. I feel as if I'm back online in a sense, and I didn't realize how muted my gifts had become and how detached I had become from my purpose and from what I was sent here to do. And I was blindfolded to the fact that I was continuing to perpetuate a karmic cycle in my own life, all the while crying behind the scenes like, why isn't my divine masculine reaching out to me? Why can I envision it, but it's not happening? And so, yes, I was losing hope for a while there as well, but ultimately I realized that the hope that was lost was in my own self and my own abilities. And so like I said, binging and purging my darkness and that karmic relationship that I was continuing to cycle back into, it was instantaneous. Once I released that connection, the signs picked up immediately. The dreams started enhancing. And I actually reunited with my divine masculine in a very unexpected way. It was a very emotional, and for those of you who watched my last video, the one with the passionate reunion, like I said, it wasn't the way I expected it to happen. But it was everything that I actually was craving and needing, and just that moment of eye contact and seeing the look on my divine masculine's face was just so heartbreaking. But it was also confirmation for me for a lot of things, and And so I feel like collectively I've seen a lot of twins coming into union, reuniting, having conversations about the future. And I've seen so many different versions of this. And so now this eclipse energy is the time and the space for twins to start coming together, okay? And so believing in the impossible, incredibly important. If you can't do that, then it's not possible. So what did I say? I knew I was feeling another rant coming on. So let's dig into the divine masculine energy and see what is going on. And again, these energies are made to pick up on the month of June, although of course these readings can be timeless as well. So regardless of the date or the month or the year, if you're stumbling on this video, then it was most likely for you to hear. So let's go ahead and see what we've got for divine masculine and their conscious thoughts, conscious awareness. So we've got the Ace of Cups popping up in reverse, I might add. What's going on in their heart space? The Moon. Oh, and the Eight of Cups. Interesting. I love how the Eight of Cups popped up in reverse as well. So how are they viewing the divine feminine at this time? Seven of Wands. Okay. Also, what is the divine masculine's intentions or actions moving forward? The Universe. Nice. Beautiful energy so far for divine masculine. What is the divine masculine's desired outcome? The Nine of Wands. Strength. And what is it that the divine masculine wants the feminine to know at this time? Oh my goodness. The Nine of Cups. Beautiful. So let's check the bottom of the deck in the recent past. Processed energy. So we've got the Six of Wands also popping up in reverse, okay? Victory, success, public recognition, the feeling of having your people behind you. And that could also be your spirit guides and angels, your ancestors, just basically behind you and pushing you to that finish line, right? Well, coming up in reverse, excuse me. I kind of feel like in the recent past, this victory was not had, okay? I also see this as like the chance to be victorious, but failing or allowing the victory to slip through your fingers, okay? As you can see, she's kind of standing on the edge here. And so even though she's manifesting and she's pushing forward in her passion and purpose, there's an element of feeling stuck, or like, I keep seeing the finish line, but I'm seeing someone slowing down right before the finish line. It's almost like the masculine has been feeling as if they've been getting really close to this victory, but there's still something that they're missing. There's still something that's not connecting to actually bring this victory into fruition, okay? And so perhaps, some of the masculines, oh gosh, the music stopped. Some of the masculines could be feeling as if they are failures, dealing with depression and sadness, and this can definitely be manifesting into the physical, okay? So think like when you are in that state of mind, it's really easy to allow things like your health to go unnoticed or overlooked, or in general, your appearance begins to fade because inside you're feeling like a loser, you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks. So a lot of the divine masculines have been feeling as if they're not able to come to this place of acceptance and victory within their own selves and their own souls, okay? And so what the heck is going on with this music? There we go. So let's go ahead. Oops, I almost picked up the feminine's cards. I'm like ready to get over this whole thing and find out what's going on for y'all. So let's talk about the Ace of Cups popping up in reverse, okay? So again, the masculine is thinking about this cup of love that was turned upside down, basically, okay? They know, and intuitively, but also consciously, they're aware that the love that they share with the feminine is real, it is true, but there was an offer not made, okay? Again, it's like this whole slipping through the fingers concept. I'm watching like the water just running down the drain, okay? Lots of emotion here, a chance for a brand new beginning, but upside down, it's like bye-bye. It just goes away, right? It's not there anymore because it wasn't offered. So again, more of that missed opportunity energy, and the divine masculine knows this, okay? They know that they are not in a place of true, authentic, unconditional love. They're not feeling that love within themselves. They're aware that they did not make this emotional offer and that this love has kind of gone cold. And so this could also be how they're feeling in their current situation. If perhaps they are with someone still, if they're in a karmic partnership, and they are, not experiencing this true love, I consider this to be like the opposite energy of true love, okay? They're aware that whatever situation they're in, the love ain't there. It's not flowing, okay? So with the moon and the Eight of Cups coming up in their heart space and the Eight of Cups coming in reverse, this is how they're feeling about the divine feminine, okay? They want to return. They want to come back in, and they want to express their deeper feelings. And so I love how the moon comes out as, like I said earlier, we're coming down off of this full moon energy. We know that full moons, emotions run incredibly high. People be acting crazy and are very emotional, okay? I cried several times during the full moon and had no idea why, just tears coming to my eyes. I also had some crazy dreams during the full moon, which I will get to here in just a moment, but the masculine feels like they want to express their hidden emotions. They know that they've been keeping secrets from the feminine, and this is quite literally the divine feminine energy. All right. They know that they've been secretive. They know that they've not told the feminine how they truly feel. And it's been difficult for them. Maybe they needed to walk away from something else. Maybe they couldn't say anything because they were involved in some other situation that kept them from expressing their true, authentic love in this physical world. And so a lot of times, feminine, it's easy to get caught up in the doubts and fears, like, oh, I must not be good enough, which is why my divine masculine isn't coming for me. Well, no, it's got nothing to do with you not being good enough, feminine. It's got everything to do with the fact that the masculine is not feeling that love in themselves. Okay? They're not feeling that love in themselves. And so they end up attracting these unauthentic situations and relationships that don't offer true, unconditional love. And so if your masculine needed to walk away from someone, I do kind of feel as if they're feeling the aftermath of walking away, and they know that they need to come back in and they need to return if they're going to salvage the Two of Cups and that spiritual union with the feminine, okay? So with the Seven of Wands popping up for how they're viewing divine feminine, they view divine feminine as a warrior, okay? This is warrior's pose. This is someone who fights for what's right, someone who defends themselves ferociously. They could also be seeing the feminine as guarded, or perhaps even an aggressive energy, to where they're afraid perhaps to say their deeper feelings because they think maybe the feminine might push them away, okay? But they see the feminine as a warrior, okay? They see the feminine going after their heart's desire, their soul's purpose, and not letting any obstacles get in her way, right? Any outside energy trying to throw themselves at the feminine, she's like, not today, okay? She's swatting them away like Rafiki. Okay, so we also have valor. Interesting. So it's almost like a role reversal here. It's like when I think of valor, I think of like knight in shining armor. So I think like the masculine is viewing the feminine and seeing the qualities in the feminine that they need to persevere on their journey, okay? And I say that because we've got the Nine of Wands popping up in their desired outcome. So with the universe or the world popping up in their actions moving forward, they're wanting to bring this cycle into completion. They're wanting to complete this journey. Okay, we know this is the end of the Fool's journey. Wisdom, knowledge, success, and like closure. I also see this as worldwide travel and communication. So basically what they are wanting to do moving forward is to close out any cycles that have been keeping them stuck and trapped from creating their own universe. So Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. Okay, so notice how we have the masculine viewing the feminine in the energy that they themselves desire to be in. Okay, they desire themselves to be strong. They desire themselves to have the ability to keep pushing forward even though they've been through the shit. This is someone who, you know, this looks much nicer than the original Nine of Wands card, but as you can see, we've got this little band around his head. He's probably sweating. There's the kind of undertones of a battle, right? Something that they've survived, but there's still a little bit left, right? So we're not exactly at the 10 just yet. They intend to get there. They intend to close out this burdensome cycle, but they know that they need to keep pushing forward, and that is what they desire, okay? They don't want to stay stuck in some cycle that keeps going on forever and ever, right? This ain't the song that never ends. We're not talking hand puppets here. We're talking real fucking life. The masculine does not want to be the wounded warrior. They want to be the wounded warrior so they can close out this cycle. They don't want to stay in this energy. They want to harness this energy so that they can persevere and get through the challenges onto the other side of completion. Okay? So, speaking of completion, what the masculine wants you to know, feminine, is union is promised. This wish that you've been making, everything you've been asking for and trying to manifest, it's coming, okay? They're on their way with it. And they also want you to know that they desire the same thing. I love how it says happiness here, and she's kind of running on water. She's running on water. Some would say that's impossible, right? So let's go back to this card right here. I feel as if the masculine wants you to know that the impossible is not impossible. This Nine of Cups, this wish fulfillment, this happiness and sense of emotional completion, it's coming, feminine. And they want you to know that, okay? And with luck on their side, and the energy of the eclipses and the Pleiades line up and all of the crazy things that have been happening recently as we line up for summer, I'm telling you, and what I've been saying from readings before, everything that's happening now is gearing us up for our manifestations to come in once June is over, okay? And that is exactly what the masculine is wanting you to know. This wish fulfillment is coming. It's on its way. So let's get the feminine's energy and see what is going on consciously. And again, this is the Witch's Tarot. What is the feminine thinking consciously regarding the masculine? So you got the Hanged Man and the Three of Swords. Interesting. So what's going on in the heart space for the feminine? So you've got the Hermit and the shadow side. Interesting. All right, and so how is the feminine viewing the masculine at this time? How's the masculine, or excuse me, how's the feminine viewing the masculine at this time? Strength. Nice. Okay, what is the feminine's intentions moving forward? What is divine feminine's intentions moving forward? Or her actions moving forward? We've got the moon. Oh my God. The moon, justice, and the king of swords. Okay. And finally, what does the feminine want the masculine to know for the month of June 2021? Ooh! Y'all. Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords popping out. And then we've got a cluster of cards. So first of all, we've got the Death card on top. I kind of feel like this is going to be story time. So I'm just going to put this down right here and we're going to talk about it. But we've got the Page of Swords. And then bottom of the deck, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So in the recent past, I feel like family, legacy, ancestry, building one's empire has really been the main focus for the feminine, okay? I feel as if feminine is really putting all of her energy into the physical to build her own stability for her own family, with or without the masculine. However, I do feel as if the reason the feminine is feeling this way is because in general, once you are settled in life, once you have your things together, once you build that empire, it's easier to be able to manifest the dreams of what you're wanting to see in your reality once you start to see the physical work being laid out from your hard work, if that made sense. So like feminine's realizing that if she wants things to be visible in the physical, then she needs to start putting her efforts and work into manifesting things into the physical. So if she wants the Ten of Pentacles, then she needs to start working for it, okay? So as far as the, here, let me see if I can kind of slide this over a little bit. Okay, so the Hanged Man and the Three of Swords and the feminine's conscious awareness. So again, talking about gaining a new perspective, finding enlightenment, seeing things from a new angle, okay? I love how we have this man and this crow, and it's so like unrealistically proportionalized. This man seems very tiny compared to this ginormous crow. And a crow, just one single crow, symbolizes like an omen of bad luck. So like a message of something bad about to happen, a forewarning. It's a messenger card. But we say that the Hanged Man is when spirit hangs you up by your ankles and kind of forces you to see things from a new perspective, as opposed to the Hermit energy, right? So consciously, it's like she's aware that spirit is pointing her and telling her, like, listen, you need to start seeing things differently about the way that this heartbreak went down, okay? So perhaps some of you feminines could also be accepting responsibility or accepting accountability for your actions involved in a third-party situation, or in allowing yourself to become heartbroken. Whatever this revelation is for you with the Hanged Man, with the Three of Swords following it, we know that there's heartbreak and sorrow that's currently being thought about. Okay, so I think that a lot of you feminines too cannot seem to get your mind off of the heartbreak, and that's why there have been so many individuals closed off, including myself, closed off to manifesting union, because we can't get our mind off of the things that we can see. Okay, so again, this is their conscious awareness for the divine feminine. They're starting to see things from a new perspective. As we mentioned earlier, maybe this could be you too, having those powerful activations during the Pleiades portal. Okay, seeing through the fragment of the crystal in that rare moment in time where you see the new reality that you've been trying to manifest, and it comes in for you like unexpectedly for a moment, right? It's that really powerful and chaotic and spontaneous energy, and I feel like the divine feminine is channeling that in order to put to rest the thoughts of heartbreak and sadness and betrayal. Okay, so with the Hermit in their heart space and the shadow side, again, now the feminine sees that what she really needs to do is to go within, to reflect without. Okay, the Hermit is another card of enlightenment, but this is chosen. Okay, this is a path that's chosen. So the feminine in her heart space, she's wanting to go within right now, and shine light on matters. Okay, she's shining a light on her own shadow side. Okay, shining a light on her own demons, doing shadow work, allowing herself to understand or have illuminated the things that maybe she was hiding from herself. Okay, this could also be just stuffing down the trauma of the heartbreak and sorrow and acting like everything's fine, only to realize that your heart needs healing, right? And so you can't do that unless you're willing to address the shadows. So with strength popping up as how the feminine is viewing the masculine, she, like I said, she intuitively already knows what's going on. She senses that the energy is building, and she can feel that strength because she intuitively knows and can see that the masculine is harnessing that strength. She feels it. She knows it. She also knows that the masculine has been holding back a little bit from her, trying to be strong and maybe put up a front in a sense. But also she is aware that the masculine could potentially still not be fully awake either. Okay, so even though they've had this energy pop up and they're starting to push forward and persevere in their soul purpose, doesn't necessarily mean that they're fully awake. Okay, so with the oh gosh, we've got a lot going on here. So the Moon, the King of Swords, and the Justice card. So let's talk about the Moon first. We know the Moon popped up in the Divine Masculine's heart space, okay? I really do feel as if the feminine simply just wants the masculine to come forward and be honest about their feelings. That's really all the feminine's ever wanted, I think. On a surface level, I think that really she just wants honesty. Wow, I just got some deja vu. With the Justice energy coming in as well, she just wants things to be balanced. She wants to know what the truth is, and she expects her masculine to be forward and honest and blunt, right? We know the King of Swords is not going to waste any time. She's wanting the masculine to come forward in the King of Swords energy, communicating their truth and cutting out the bullshit, not worrying so much about emotions. She just wants the cold, hard truth. It might hurt, right? But at the end of the day, even though some of these secrets or hidden feelings might sting a little bit, the sword of justice cuts very clean, okay? And so I think that on some level it would bring the divine feminine justice if just a simple conversation could be had, right? And that's for some of you. So with the Page of Swords coming up as what the divine feminine wants divine masculine to know, she's like, I know you're watching me. I know you're watching me, and I'm watching you too. And so this is a messenger card. But as you can see, he's about to wield the sword, but he looks kind of bored. And so I think the feminine is wanting the masculine to know, like, it's time to stop sitting around just fucking watching each other. And it's time to actually send the message, okay? It's time to say what you need to say. because I think the feminine is starting to get restless and bored with waiting, okay? But everything happens in divine time, as we already know. And so I feel as if there is a greater reason why, for those of you divine feminines who feel as if you're completely out of the loop and you're just kind of wondering what the hell's going on, I have a feeling that there is a much bigger reason and purpose behind all of the waiting, okay, as there usually is. So let's talk about story time here. We've got the death energy, so death, transformation, rebirth. We also have the Four of Cups. So I think also, since all of this fell out for what does the divine masculine need to know, what does the divine feminine want the masculine to know? She wants the masculine to know that she's gone through a death and rebirth, and she's spent a lot of time reflecting on the past and being disappointed, not only in the way things went down with the masculine, but in her own self, right? Yeah, like this boy is sad, but he's got his arms folded over his chest, and it's like he knows he did something wrong, right? He's trying to comfort himself because he knows he messed it up. Now, the feminine could be also wanting the masculine to know that, maybe there were things that were said or done which could have allowed the masculine to perceive that the feminine was done, but really the feminine wants you to know, masculine, that they've been really obsessing over this and really thinking about like their actions. They want to know what they did, basically. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing. It's like they want to know what they did because they missed the opportunity, they missed the boat. And it makes me think about what I said earlier. I spent a lot of time cycling back in the past karmic situation that wasn't fulfilling for me, that wasn't resonating with my soul anymore. And I feel like I ended up delaying the reunion until I was able to see the truth of that connection. And like I said, instantly, once I cut that person out of my life, boom. Signs, synchronicities, dreams, reunion, all of it starts happening once you're willing to let go of what's not working, okay? And that's the energy of the Four of Cups. There's a divine opportunity coming in here for this boy, but he doesn't see it, okay? And a hot-ass mermaid. He doesn't see it because he's too focused on these cups. So I think also the message to the masculine is, things did not go right, okay? There were lots of missed opportunities, but I think that with this next card being the Five of Wands, I think that the feminine is simply saying like, okay, I'm willing to fight for this though. I'm willing to struggle for it, okay? I have a fortune cookie on my refrigerator that says struggle hard for everything you want in life, right? And so feminine wants masculine to know she's going to fight for this. With the Knight of Cups, I really feel as if the feminine wants to extend her own love offer to the masculine and let them know that they're maturing and they're growing in their concept of love, but that they love the masculine, okay? They love them, they care for them, and I think that they just want the masculine to know that, okay? I feel like perhaps there were some unrealistic expectations in the past of this love, which could have been the reason why the masculine ran. Obviously, sometimes people come on too strong and they don't understand things the way that we do, right? They don't know about the twin flame journey, and they probably don't even resonate with it at all. They don't know what it means because they don't get it, right? They are the reactor to their environment. They're not the deep intuitives. So Seven of Swords coming up after all of this from the feminine. I think the feminine wants the masculine to know like it's time to start strategizing and coming up with a plan, okay, on how to get out of the situations that we're in without causing a scene, okay? So Seven of Swords is a very stealthy, sneaky energy, okay? This could involve deception, but overall, it's the first message that I heard. They don't want to cause a scene, but it's time to start figuring out a way to change the outcome. It's time to start strategizing a way to get out of there. And that is what the feminine wants the masculine to know. So let's get some clarity. from the Energy Oracle and see what is the Divine Masculine's challenge as we move through June. We've got patience. Oh my goodness. And the tables have turned. So the challenge for the masculine is patience. Let's see what the feminine's challenge is as we move through June. Yin Yang. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about it. First of all, bottom of the deck, we've got door to romance. So I think both parties are definitely starting to imagine this new romantic opportunity based on the energies that are around us, right? So we were talking about how the eclipse energy is like a portal or like a door. So it's funny, like we were saying how everything's kind of lining up right now. During this energy, there could be that opportunity for the door to slip open for just enough time for that key to slide in and hit that heart lock, right? And unlock the cage. Okay, so I feel like both masculine and feminine have kept their hearts caged, okay? And, you know, if you're a divine feminine and you consider yourself the chaser and you're obviously masculine as the runner, you might not see how you've also been running by keeping yourself closed off to the potential of love, right? Perhaps you've convinced yourself that love is not possible based on your circumstances or situation, but I'm here to tell you that circumstances mean nothing, okay? Nothing. Circumstances can change, but you can't change love. Okay, when you love someone, when you feel those feelings for them, that's not something you can change. So the more logic you try to put on top of it, the more... Okay, so I was just shown an image of someone with a bunch of Post-it notes that say logic, okay? So it's like perhaps this person has just been, every time they had a thought, they posted logic over it, right? Every time they had a feeling or an intuitive message come to them about their person, it's like, nope, logic. Sorry, nope, logic. We're going to hit it with logic and just make it go away, right? And in a lot of ways, like I said, you're leaving yourself blocked and closed off to accepting what it is that you've been calling in, okay? So patience being the masculine's struggle or challenge this month. I do feel as if, again, temperance energy, that's also the energy of Sagittarius. I feel like the masculine is ready to get this show on the road now. I think they're ready to finally get it moving. But now, like I said, the feminine's in the energy of not pushing on the gas pedal and easing on the brakes. So now the masculine could be, like I said, the role reversal could be happening in a sense where the masculine is like desperate now to reach out perhaps, or waiting for something to close out so that they can move forward. And it's difficult, right? It's difficult when you want something, when you know you need something, it's so hard to be patient for it. But in the end, if it was worth it, then it was worth it, right? So let's talk about the yin yang. So yin yang is positive, negative, male, female, masculine, feminine, up, down, hot, cold, runner, chaser, whatever, right? It's the opposite of the other. And so I think that the challenge for the feminine is understanding that regardless of what's going on in the physical, that she's never truly apart from her twin. Her twin is her yang, right? And the feminine is the yin energy. One cannot really exist without the other. So that might be a struggle because perhaps there's not physical union just yet. And so right now, focusing on just the concept of balancing the opposites, it might not sit well, right? It might not sit well because the feminine wants the peace. She wants everything to flow, but she's not seeing it happen in the physical. So it could be easy to fall into those doubts. Now, I do also want to say that the feminine is probably going to struggle with balancing that energy within herself during this time. And needing to be reminded that both energies are within her. She doesn't need a physical person to say or do anything because the feminine needs to see that the masculine is always with her, whether she likes it or not. Just because you can't see something does not mean that it's not real, okay? So I think the challenge for the feminine is to continue to push forward towards union. And for some of you who are in union, by the way, and who maybe are having some like difficulties or feeling disconnected from your twin, this could also be symbolizing the struggle to, like I said, gain balance over the masculine and feminine energy within your partnership, and come to a place of understanding and balance and harmony, okay? So interesting. Let's go ahead and get a Queen of the Moon Oracle card and see what the advice is moving forward. So we've got darkness, anything else, and extremes. So things are... It's a hot moon, but it looks like the blood moon. And so things are definitely going to be heating up in the month of June. Some of you might really be feeling the pressure. And for some of you, hot moon could mean you could be like getting hot and heavy with a partner, with your twin flame, hopefully. But then we have darkness, right? So like I said, a lot happening behind the scenes. Not really the image you would expect to see in this picture. And so I think that this is simply saying that the divine masculine is definitely feeling the burn, obviously, and that there could be a time of darkness in the month of June, however that resonates for you. So perhaps it's time to start getting comfortable in the dark, getting comfortable in the still of it all, and just appreciating the long night for what it is, okay? It was long because it was meant to be fucking long. And every time you question that, it's almost like the universe delays the response or the rate at which you receive your manifestation, okay? So I do feel like Spirit is simply saying, if things get too crazy, if things get too hot, okay, it's okay to put yourself in this place of darkness. It's okay to go and have that solitude that you are craving, aka the Hermit card. So when things get overwhelming, Spirit is telling you to find some quiet time alone, meditate, journal, whatever. Just no distractions, right? Sometimes it's good for you to be able to do that when you feel so incredibly stressed. So let's go ahead and get some feminine energy oracle cards and see what the divine feminine would like to say to the masculine. All right, so I do not entertain low vibrational energies that keep me feeling stuck. Exactly. Music has a whole new meaning now that you're in my life. Yes, it really does, doesn't it? I kind of feel like before I met my divine masculine, music was cool. But then when I met my divine masculine, I could not hear a song that didn't involve our storyline. It just, all of it was just so synchronistic. And I always tell my clients about the exercise that I like to do too, closing your eyes and focusing on your twin flame and asking them for a song. And then the first song that comes to your mind is the song that they're sending to you. So I urge you guys to try out that exercise if you haven't already. We also have separation is an illusion. Exactly, feminine. It is an illusion. It's not real. And then finally, we've got, I envision the life I desire with my twin as if it has been already attained. Visualization, powerful manifestation tactic. So, interesting. Let's get some divine masculine energy oracle cards and see what they would like to say to the feminine. I hear the call and I'm ready to come home. This call? Hootie hoo! Are you coming home, divine masculine? Because I think it's time. I think it's time you start wrapping it up in whatever is going on over here with this Ace of Cups in reverse and start bringing it in, okay? So we also have I am awake. Wow. So, again, lots of revelations and awakenings for the masculine during this time. I am working on my stability. So, they are working themselves to the bone, trying to gain financial independence, perhaps. And then finally, when I run from you, I am only running from myself. Interesting. So again, the tables have turned. I think the masculine was able to see into that fragment in time, and they started to realize that it was never about you, feminine. It was about them. Okay? So, very interesting reading. I'm so excited to put this out. I hope that it resonates with someone. And so, again, for those of you who are still listening, do not forget, if you book a private reading with me between the 28th and the 8th, I will be starting back on private readings after I get back from my vacation on the 9th. So, other than that, you guys, I wish you all such a lovely month of June. Try not to allow these planetary aspects screw with you too badly, and just remain grounded during this time, okay? I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.